Yeah. yeah. Um, as I've said earlier, as time goes on, we will continue to come across other HTML tags unless you want to stay for a long time on on HTML. As a good student, you shouldn't um, rely mostly on the tutor. You should
Okay.
also do some research by
All right.
yourself. So today we'll be talking about the structure of HTML. We already said that from the beginning, but there's a need for us to go back. So, if you look at the screen I'm showing you right now, you see that um, there we are currently at the header section. The function of
Yeah.
this is to show you the reason why there are some tags inside on your website. So tonight we'll be discussing that and why you need some tags at a particular section. Now, if you look at the structure, normally I said that um, the very first section on the website, one of the most important section of the website is the header tag. This particular tag has a lot of function on your website. If you don't have it on your website, that does not mean your page will not render, but you're really missing a lot. Number one, it defines the title of the page to the browser. If you quickly look at your tabs, you'll find several names like WhatsApp to the Meet, Real Estate Company, California, Carillon stuff, and Netherlands as well. If you That's a function of title, and if you look at this particular section, you'll see this one is also important for a website. In computing world, we have what we call encoding. Encoding is the function of encoding is to specify the kind of character set you'll be using for your construction, for the development of your website. We also have different character encoding. I told you before that you should look for character encoding. So read more on UTF and the likes, ASCII key, ASCII, and so many others. There are many of them. Let's check. There are some characters that will just there are some encoding that will allow you to input like 200 characters. Some will allow you to input. I'm just using it for example. They have different capacity. For example, Unicode. I think Unicode is the largest of all. It allows. I stand to be corrected. I have not really checked, but I found Unicode as one of a very robust system. ASCII key also has limitations. It doesn't go far. But if you get to Unicode, you find that it accepts so many data. All these characters you find. Have you used Microsoft Word that much that you need some characters and you don't find it on a keyboard? The next thing you do is to go to insert symbols. Have you done that before? Hello, are we together?
Yes, we are together.
I said, have you done that
Yes,
before?
again.
Like, have you gone to insert symbol on Microsoft Word before?
Yes,
You find so many characters there that
yes.
are not on a keyboard. Those are the functions of encoding. So they are already encoded. If you know the key, I think there is one particular shortcut we normally press. But on Microsoft Word. If you should press it, automatically it will generate the key for you. On inside the MS Word, if for example, if inside MS Word, I think if you put equals RAND, then open brackets, then maybe specify a number like 15, close the bracket, it will generate random text for you, like in paragraphs. I think that that particular function accepts two numbers with comma, like two parameters, 2 comma something or 7 comma 18, but probably is either rand then the bracket, or the one with equal sign. So that is also a function. And to cut the long story short, you can also use different encoding in MS Word. That is the same thing that we are using here. The encoding style we are using is UTF-8. All webs I've seen so far, they use UTF-8. UTF-8 is also it also allows very large stuff. Do not forget, sometimes ago we worked on special characters, so those are some coding as well. Let's check online. So you see UTF minus its encoding for HTML. So you find here, you see the HTML5 standard Unicode UTF minus its Unicode standard code almost that covers almost all the characters, punctuations, and symbols in the world. Unicode enables processing, storage, and transport of text independent of platform and language. As I said before, there are some set of encoding that allows a very wide range. So you have to go through the coding, because sometimes you may need to use some. You are restricted to use some instead of for example, where you are supposed to use ASCII. If you want to use UTF minus 8, it will take you some other stress, so you need to be familiar with them. Back to business. If you check this section, you also find the viewport. It talks about probably the scale of your website. This not really important right now, but we are working on CSS and other system, like what's this thing called of viewports and some others. And CSS, you will talk more on this. So if you look at this section, it's like it's majorly for search engine optimization. What this one is saying, most likely some website will not have this one. What it's saying is that if a robot should get here, do you know what crawler is?
Yes.
Like a crawler is like a robot, a script that runs through a website or websites online, like what Google uses for their SEO is also a crawler. We have Bing crawler, we have so many crawlers online. You can also develop your own crawler as well, to like when you are working on web scraping or some heavy scraping online, you have to crawl through several websites if there's a need. So what this one is saying, that you should follow this website. Like sometimes you instruct your SEO not to follow a particular page. If it means that if it gets to the page and it says like do not follow or something like that, it automatically it will automatically bounce back. It will not index the page at all. So there are pages like that online. And what this one is saying, this is script. Let's see if we can this data layer there. Data layer. I don't know where the script is coming from. Probably if we check downward. Okay. Oh, sorry. Google Tag Manager for WordPress. Oh, this is from Google. This is scripts. I've not used this before. It's just a script. Sometimes you are required to put script on your page. For example, if you are dealing with Google Analytics, you'll find some codes from Google. They'll tell you to put it on your website, on your header section, or you put some things in your root directory where you uploaded your website. But most of the time we will normally use the scripts. I use the scripts most of the time. Back to discussion. I also said this. I talked about this before, like the title of the page, which is also necessary. If you look at this one, whenever you are developing a page online, you also need to consider the description. This particular one here, what the description says is that it gives you like a brief text about the page. For example, if you post a link on WhatsApp or some apps, once you post the link, automatically it generates the title of the page as well as a brief text under it. Have you noticed that before?
Title page and yes, I've noticed it.
Should we try? Let's try this page actually. This page should work fine for us. Okay, then I'll post this text like this. Let's see what will come up. You can see it is still scanning this. Look at this one. Best builder of the year. We have houses for sale. Buy from us. ... If you look at this particular section, what is this one saying as well? Best builder of the year. We have houses for sale. Buy from us. ... That one is coming from this section. So if you stumble on that and you feel like you want something like that on your system, you can as well add it here. You can see we have meta tag. What's metadata? There are still some things we call metadata. Check online, you find metadata. But metadata are just like giving more information about an item. Then sometimes you cannot call it the main content. Like for example, if you have a file, the extension of the file, the size of the file, probably the file is also encrypted. You find all that in metadata. So this is metadata for this website. Now you can see meta name, then description. What is this metadata for? The metadata is for description. Then this metadata description accepts content under attribute as well. Content, you can't just generate your own anyhow you want, anyhow you like. Anytime you see metadata name description, then you see content following it. And this one as well has rule guiding it. For some, I think Google, you cannot go beyond 500. Is it 500? I think 500. It's been long. For just check their SEO stuff, you'll find it there. Like if you want to do make your website visible online, just go to Google SEO console. You find their rule. Like I think Facebook allows you to input 450. Sorry, 250. Facebook is it Facebook? I'm beginning to jumble things together. This guy has the Bing. You know Bing, right?
Yes.
Bing. Bing also has their own specification, the number of characters you input here. So you have to consider that as well. If you are making it cross-platform, not automatically, you know that your system will not most likely not be used on search on stop. Will most likely not be going through. Sorry, people most of the time do not use um, Google for all their stuffs. Some will be using Bing, some will be using DuckDuckGo. We have several search engine online. It's just because Google is a very huge company and people are using it all the time. We also have Onion websites are also there. So many of them. Now, if you now come across, if you check all those stuffs, they also have their own specification for the number of characters that will be using. Just make sure you have something very short. If you have something very short, that will be okay. If you have like let's say 200, at least it will come across. It will cut across all. Search engine optimization. This also helps as well for SEO. So you have to be very concise and make sure you include as you have to make sure you use very uh, a very attractive word and most likely what people will search for is also necessary. If you look at this section, what's canonical for? Let's check this one. I've not used this before. I don't do much of SEO. I do much of back end. Let's check that. All in one SEO too. You can see. If you check this one, what is it saying? It's talking about SEO as well. So you find so many tags when it comes to SEO. Okay, I don't like this. Okay. Oh, the canonical. Yes, that's Maldiva. Okay. A canonical link, also called canonical tag, canonical URL. This is included in HTML code of a web page to indicate the original source of content. Okay, this markup is used to address SEO problem with duplicate content. What is this one saying? It's like maybe probably you want to steal somebody's content. Sorry to use that word. Like you went on somewhere to hijack somebody's content, or you want to use some content that are not yours. You can easily put it according to what this guy said here. You can say to avoid duplicate content which arise when different pages with different URLs contain identical or nearly identical content. This duplicates content problem can arise in a number of ways, often without the website administrator's knowledge, including when a web page is accessed with or without the www. That's okay. Um, so it also addresses section like problems whereby um, you are using so sometimes your website will be crawled as www dot the full website URL. Some may be crawled as instead of this www. Some may be truncated. Some websites are like that. That whenever you put www the website that's the other parts, it will truncate this one automatically. They are also telling us that we can use this one to specify the main content, like even if the website, even if crawlers go through your website, once they see this one, they will know which website has which website does it belongs to. Are we together?
Yeah, we're
um Now this section, do you know what OG means?
Oh, do you know?
OG, I think that is open graph. It belongs to Facebook. So if you paste a link on Facebook, initially the first thing Facebook will do is to look for OG, and if this OG is okay, the Facebook will render the contents very well. If you post some links online, some of them will not respond on Facebook. It will just be the link and probably the title of the page. Some you see pictures at one side and some description at the right hand side. Some you see pictures at the top, description below. You see some just the link alone. It will not even generate anything. Facebook is also very strict with it. I don't know if they actually generate this one whenever you post. For example, on WhatsApp, we just showed this demonstration. But when it comes to Facebook, it uses Open Graph. That's this Open. There are many things. This is not all in Open Graph. If you check their website, you'll find so many of them. So many. That one. What's this? Okay, so whenever you go to Open Graph, you find like Facebook. Just check Open Graph. You find other stuff that are not mentioned there. This locale is specifying the language. Also on your website here, you see the language also specified. If you look at this, the way this one is written, it's different from this one. I'm not sure if this one is though this one is iPhone. I'm not sure if this one is I_, but most likely this is generated from WordPress, which is and they are most likely not going to commit an error. So the type as well. What type of open graph? Where do you want to use this one on your website? The title of your page. This one. This. And let's look at the title of our page here as well. If you look here, you also see the title of the page as well. The same thing as this. It's telling Facebook this has some of the information about my website. Look at the open graph description, like duplicate. What you have here is also what you have here. Like if you look at the length is so short that Facebook can also accommodate it. If it's longer than what Facebook requires, Facebook will automatically truncate it. It will take what it needs and truncate the rest. That's why you have to be concise as possible. What's your URL? The URL of your website. This one. The site name, like this. The publisher. Is it? Well, well, okay. I think this one's for the page of the. I don't know much about this. You can just check online for this one. But there is another one as well whereby we specify the name of the author of the page. Like somebody wrote a particular page. Like when it comes to what do you call this one? Like people writing article, like blog posters.
Yeah.
Most people like that we need the article, the author's tag as well. You know, that's another one. We are not developing an article here, so most likely you won't find it here. Look at the last time this page was modified. It's also showing here, but
Yeah.
some people normally use sitemap. I don't know if you have heard of sitemap before. They use
Yes.
on a sitemap. That's where you will most likely find this one. You won't find it there when the page was last modified. So you find it there. So when crawler goes through your website, it will sorry for that. It will know that this page has been modified. If the dates and time does not correlate with what it has, it will automatically recrawl this page again. That's some sitemap. I don't know if it also crawls through property, the meta tag as well for changes on the website. And if you look at Twitter, we also have that for Twitter. There are so many of them. We can't just discuss. That's why I said you have to be ready to make research on your own. Look at this one. Used people that use WordPress use this one so much. Other person must be familiar with this one as well.
Yes.
They have not used it at all because I don't do WordPress, but I'm quite sure you are familiar with it. Aha! Look at this one. Google site verification. Like this one is for probably for to verify your websites, like for maybe for Google Analytics, Google SEOs, and some other stuffs. You also find it. You also find tags like that on your website. So sometimes you are doing some things on Google. They'll tell you put it to confirm that you are the owner of your website. Put this on your website on the header tag. Don't be baffled. You also have it here. Um, there are many others I've not seen before. I don't know why they're actually using this alternative. Oh, I've not seen this before. Probably you can check alternative. Probably on like if there's an alternative link to this website. I don't know, but with this particular stuff, I don't know why they are using this for this. This is my answer. My earpiece doing this. So that's we've said so much on the other tag. If you look at other parts of your website, I'm not talking about the scripts. That's why I hate WordPress. WordPress blog including so many trash. Why would it be something like this? Yeah. Now, if you look at some other parts, as I've said earlier, there are sometimes there are sometimes you put some things in the other tag and sometimes um, at the bottom before the closing of body tag. Here on the other tag, you always find your CSS file there. The function of the CSS I've told you before. It's just like foundation. If you have a foundation, people know where to. They know how to lay. It's just like a layout. Like the foundation is already laid. It knows where to put contents automatically. It's not like some websites long time ago. The very first thing the website will do after loading the content, like the HTML we've been doing, those HTML we've been working on does not contain CSS. They'll just look so archaic. That's how those websites will load. Then after some time, they start to look beautiful again. It will continue to load until it is fully done with the rendering. Then it will look very beautiful. Those are very very ugly design, bad design. what the errors most of them do is to put this one. They put the CSS below, and if the page is very very heavy, the page will render bad before it finally loads the original stuff. Aha. So what we need to do now, I think there are so many stuff said here, and sometimes inside the header tag you may need to include scripts there, like scripts that are needed to be ready before the page is ready. So script like that, if you have script like that that needs to be included at the header, stop. That needs to be included at the header tag. You shouldn't put it below. But as time goes on, we'll talk more on some scripts. There are some scripts like you have for CSS. It does not, if you have like oh, why is this stuff on this net? If you have like 10 CSS to include on your website, your website does not care the hierarchy, like which one comes first, which one comes last. But sometimes it is important which one comes last. For example, if you want to override your a particular item in CSS, like class or a particular property selector, as I've said before, the time I introduced CSS to you, we have the inline, the this thing, internal and the external. We wanted to override some CSS. I put some internal. You also put some CSS, just trying to override it. If you mistakenly put the one CSS above, even when the browser does not care the hierarchy, you might be um, getting the wrong output. For example, inside you are using a framework that defines your body tag. Can you hear me?
Yes.
You are using a framework like, let's say, Twitter CSS that defines the body as green. You now define your own body. You want to override that green to be blue. So it's where you are supposed to put that tag, that particular tag is below. The CSS is below the Twitter. The Twitter is supposed to come before yours, because since you are overriding it, yours is supposed to be below. And mistakenly you now put that above. There's a mix up there. Automatically yours will not work properly. That is one thing you have to note. But most of the time, if you don't have things like that, you and your brother does not care. And I would like to call. I'd like to call your sorry for that. I'd like to call your attention for to this. If you are working on if you have a custom CSS on your website, most likely you find it at the last part of the CSS section. For example, you have 10 CSS. Most likely you find it at the last part. All your custom CSS files. So that is also another thing you need to take note of. And the scripts, which happens to be a very important aspect in web development nowadays. You need to include the scripts where it is needed. As I've said earlier, I told you that script that needs to be on top should not be below. Those that needs to be below should not be on top. Like Google, sometimes they'll tell you put this script in your header tag. If you put it below at the bottom, I don't know if it will work, but they will specify they will tell you we want this particular script to be in your header tag. You find things like that. Mm. I think we've said so much about this SEO of a thing, but SEO is not limited to what I've just said right now. I told you before, like on your page you have the hierarchy of header, like H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. You should also take that into consideration as to how you use them, and how many you are supposed to use on the page for better SEO. Is it necessary you use a particular header somewhere? So you also have to take note of that. And for your um, I think yes, images. Images sometimes. Yes, there's also a particular tag I didn't mention before we leave. Let me quickly mention it. If you look at this section, this description, there's another one like keyword. It's also under meta tag as well. People normally misuse that keyword. That is why Google does not really recognize it for its SEO. I don't know. Have you seen keyword before? Anyways,
What did you call it?
keyword.
Keyword.
Yes, it's also a meta tag.
No.
Inside that keyword, they can put hotel, comma, our hotel, comma, beautiful hotel, comma. They'll start putting likely what people are going to use, people are
Okay.
going to search for. For
Okay.
example, let's assume the name of my website is let's say the name of my company is ABC Hotel. They can put ABC Hotel. They can put ABCD Hotel,
Okay.
like a Hilton Hotel, just to attract all traffic to their site. People used to misuse that particular tag. That is why um, most search engine does not recognize it anymore. In case you are in case you are reading about SEO and header tag, if you come across it and they are telling you to do this, read more on that particular one. Some will allow it. I don't know if all are still allowing that particular tag, the keyword tag. Um, Before I said that, there's one I also mentioned, the image. Sometimes the alt is also important. The kind of text you put inside your alt, like if an image does not load, what text will be inside. The way you structure your page actually matters a lot. When you come to search engine optimization, you just don't write gibberish just because you're a very good writer. You just started writing things and you didn't follow rules. You, although your content is good, but just a few people will find it online. All you need to do is to segment, is to write it with rules. For example, if you are reading a passage, most likely the some people will tell you that the most important aspect of the passage is the first paragraph. Like if you read the first paragraph, you can deduce what the title of that passage is all about, is based on. So that is also done in SEO. You have to be very careful with your choice. So there are so many stuffs in SEO, but I think we will have to stop there because it's a very very big aspect. Apart from that, you also need to go online, do some research. Why? What are people searching for? how many keywords appears online. Oh, am I running out of time? Please help me check.
15 minutes more.
What is how many?
15.
Oh, wow. Have we spent that much time?
Yeah,
So it means we have spent about 45 minutes already. Okay. Um, that is about SEO. Do you have questions on what I've said so far?
no question.
Ask a question. All the time, no question. Ask a question. Ask a question. Okay. If I let me now, if you don't have any question for me, should I ask one question?
Yeah, you can.
I said, if you post a link on WhatsApp, automatically a text is generated. Where does that text come from?
Oh,
You said where did the text come from?
Where does it come from? If you post the link on WhatsApp, after some time, WhatsApp will generate some text under the link.
I think it's from the meta
Which of the meta?
um, content.
Which content? That contents. That's not what I was expecting you to say. You use the name to identify it. Name. That's the description. Description meta tag. This is the one you call it. You have to be careful with this naming convention. Yeah, though it's a meta tag, but here you call it description. For this one, you call this one open graph title. This one is open graph title. You have to be specific.
okay.
So if you are communicating with other people, they will easily know what you are talking about. Um, on table, you have done so well on the assignment I gave you, but still you didn't complete it. I keep saying, send me this one, send me this one. You won't send it. I hope you still remember the one I'm referring to.
Yes, I think we have completed it already.
No, you've not. There is one particular screenshot. I even tagged it again. It has lots of text in it. I
Okay.
didn't say you do that. No,
Yeah.
don't worry. Actually, I will give you something more robust, something more meaningful, more complex to uh, to, uh, to help you with your study. Please go through um, gigs for gigs. I cannot tell you to use W3 school. W3 school is also a good place, but sometimes you might need to go deep down and you need more explanation. Gigs for gigs is a very good place. We can if you are good if you feel like W3 school is the best thing for you to use, you can also use it.
Okay.
No problem. So if there's no question, then we'll call it a day.
All right.
All right.
Do
Thank you.
to
Thank you.
tomorrow we'll be working on CSS. As we're working on CSS, we're working on some JavaScript along the way. Let's call
JavaScript.
it tomorrow. Yeah,
All right.
well, surely. Before we get to JavaScript fully,
Okay.
will it be convenient for you to be going through JavaScript tutorial as well?
If you can simplify it for us, we can actually come. It,
Of
it
course,
depends on how you take it, how you give it to us.
of course. It's so if you have the time. Honestly, it's not even if you have the time. There are many things involved in web development, though depending on the area you choose. If
Okay.
you go, do you know Free Code Camp?
Yes.
Freecodecamp.org.
Yes.
Timmy, do you know the stuff?
No,
What I just said. Let me
no.
show you. Free code camp is a place you can learn this JavaScript. They will even give you text editor there
You
to
sent it
work
to me
with.
some time ago.
Oh,
Like when
I didn't.
I needed help, I wanted to use JavaScript for a Squarespace website.
Sorry, I have been busy. Even I'm just trying to relieve myself from all this because then I need to be very careful.
Yeah.
Aha, this is not the home page. This is the home page. Once you get to this free code camp,
Okay.
what they do here is free, and if you're so kind, you can also donate to them. It will help it will help them to continue giving this um, projects free.
Okay.
And all time, every day, or most of the time, they used to update the content. They post news, they post content on YouTube, good content. Now, if you just scroll down, you find so many sections. This is the section you need.
Okay.
JavaScript and algorithm. Make sure you are logged in.
Okay.
You see, I'm logged in on the website. Uh, so once you are logged in, all you need to select is JavaScript, algorithm, and data structure. It will tell you about JavaScript. Look at this one. I've already completed 13 of 13. 113 of 13. This one I've completed 10 of 29. This one nothing at all. Though I can work on most of the things they are showing me, but you cannot know everything. Let's assume you are working on some things. Let's say we have this one. Let's just click on this. In If you look at this page, this is they're talking about this one, the difference between var and let. After telling you what it does, they will not give you assignments to work on. Sorry, they will give you exercise. You have to do this exercise, then confirm if your exercise is okay. Look at this one. Run the test. They'll tell you perform this action. You also see if your code runs fine, if there's need for you to modify some parts. Look at this one. What are these things here? They said var should not exist in your code. They don't want to see you write this particular var. They'll tell you which one you should edit. Sometimes they'll tell you do not edit the above code, and if you edit it, I bet you won't pass that stage. This is under thing as well. What they're telling you, cat name should not be the string. Oliver. Oh, sorry. Cat name should be the string Oliver. That's it. They want you to use this one. You shouldn't change this one as well.
Okay.
Wait, did I? I don't know if I'm the one that wrote this one. Cat name, cat sound should be the string mu. Okay, this is from them.
Okay.
The questions should be around there. Just go through it. You find the question. As you continue the course, you find more things about it. Normally, I use my phone to write this code. I know how this difficult it's going to be. So, should I send you this one, or you've seen this stuff?
I've seen it. Yeah, just
So make sure you register to keep track of your progress. It will help you a
okay.
lot. I think there's another HTML part as well. Okay. So in the absence of questions, we call it a day.
All right.
Do have a lovely day. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Good night.
Good night.